Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back once again to Call of Duty World War II. This is pretty much the only game I've been playing lately. It's been incredibly enjoyable, though surprise, surprise, Activision and Microsoft have been radio silent about the controversy that's been going on. We actually have a lot to talk about here today, especially in regards to classic Call of Duty, because those games didn't just die, Activision killed them, and they did it on purpose. By my count, it's been now 11 days since they finally took Call of Duty World War II off of PC Game Pass, because everybody's computers were being hacked and they haven't said a single solitary word about the situation. I think this actually goes quite deeper than a lot of people think, because when Microsoft bought Activision, a big part of that was they wanted access to the entire back catalog of games. Think of what could happen if they revived the OG games like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, or even Black Ops 2. They have an absolute gold mine that they are sitting on, and since Activision never did anything with it, it seemed like Microsoft was going to. We then had all the old games receive a patch about a year or so ago. You guys might remember that patch that went through. It reportedly was made to help with matchmaking, and it did revive a lot of the older Call of Duty games for a long time. Like for me, I went back to play World at War and it was freaking fantastic, and I think the idea behind it was they wanted to get those games set up and ready for Game Pass. Well, what Microsoft did not anticipate, and something that Activision probably didn't disclose when they were doing their negotiations, is that Activision have done absolutely nothing to secure any of those older Call of Duty titles. It was only when World War II was added to Game Pass that suddenly the RCE exploits took center stage and people started to find out about it, but the truth is these exploits have been happening for an incredibly long time. You can find threads of people being RCE'd all the way back in Black Ops 2, and Activision never did anything about it. And just in case you guys haven't been keeping up, an RCE is when a hacker is able to take full control of your PC just because they were in the same Call of Duty lobby as you. Yeah, that's pretty freaking terrifying, right? Like, these dudes are able to get access to everything. They open up your notepad and they start to type to you and everything, and in the case of this guy right here, he lost his Steam account, his Epic Games account, and his email, and he says amongst all those things, he probably lost about $3,000 worth of things that he has purchased, whether it be games or skins or whatever throughout Steam and Epic Games. And that's just the thing, man. Like, some of these hackers are just trolls, you know? Like, sometimes they're gonna change your wallpaper to become a picture of an Activision lawyer, or sometimes they'll send you messages in Notepad, but either way, they still have access to all of your stuff, right? And they don't have to even do any of that. If they can use an RCE against you and get access to your PC, all they have to do is say literally nothing about it. They gather all your information, they steal all your shit, and then they just move on to the next person. It's a terrifying reality, and Activision have been aware of the problem for years, yet they did nothing. Then when Microsoft took over, they took those compromised games and threw them on the Game Pass so that millions of players could unknowingly get their information and their accounts compromised. When I initially covered the news, I said it was the worst thing that Activision have ever done, and I stand by that. It's freaking deplorable, but will anything actually happen to them as a result? Absolutely not, because they're Activision, because they're Microsoft. They are so big they can just get away with literally anything, and it's the gamers who are the ones who pay the price. Something else that really bothers me about this entire situation is, even if it did work out, even if Microsoft and Activision took their jobs seriously and did not knowingly sell viruses to their player base, they would still have so much work to do to actually make the old games playable once again. Take Call of Duty World War II, for example. Let's say it wasn't completely busted on PC and fans could actually play it. Well, the Game Pass version of the game is just that. It's the normal version of the game, and if we check out the Microsoft store, they are still trying to sell a nearly 8-year-old video game at full price, $60 freaking for crying out loud. And on top of that, every single map pack is $15, or you could buy the season pass for $50. So even if the game was properly working for everybody, the age-old problem of player fragmentation is still alive and well here in 2025. What an absolute messy situation this is. Like, they put the game on Game Pass, but all of these new players don't have access to any of the DLC maps. Therefore, they are cut off from the people who do have the DLC maps from way back in the day. If the new players do want to drop $50 freaking to buy all the DLC, well, then they are now cut off from all the other new players who did not purchase the DLC. It's literally a situation of spending money for a worse experience. I'm talking longer wait times, emptier lobbies, and if you're somebody who did buy all the DLC way back in the day, which, let's be honest, a lot of us did, it's now in our best interest to uninstall all that DLC that we paid $50 freaking for, just so we can actually get into matches faster and have lobbies that actually fill. will. This problem is not only on Call of Duty World War II, it's on every old Call of Duty game. Remember how we got the news about how the OG Modern Warfare 2 and the OG Modern Warfare 3 were appearing on the Australian ratings board or something like that? Well, so far, literally nothing has happened as a result of that, but the old games are still as pricey as ever. Now, for the base game, which we can technically ignore if they were to come to Game Pass, we are looking at $20 for Modern Warfare 2 and $30 for Modern Warfare 3, and on top of that, all of the old map packs are still the same price as they were in 2009 and in 2011, despite the fact that once again, these maps segregate the community and cause a massive strain on matchmaking. Black Ops 2 is the same freaking way, man, like full price, 13 years later, $60 with the season pass and all the map packs still costing full price as well. How in the world can they expect any of these old COD titles to succeed when number A, they are hacked all the shit, number B, the community is all fragmented thanks to map pack conflictions, and number C, people who bought the map packs in the current day, or even the people that bought them back in the game's prime, are heavily incentivized to uninstall the stuff that they paid for? Like, in what reality is this a good idea? And if you guys think the hacking situation is only on PC, boy oh boy do I have some stuff to show you. So this is actually footage from quite a while ago, but nothing about it has gotten any better. Black Ops 2 is a prime example of a game that is completely hacked, even on consoles. This is on console, mind you. These old games are so easy to exploit that it feels like half the people that play them are just people running around with mods and infections and things like that. In the case of Black Ops 2, they even have a sort of pseudo RCE hack that's going around. Instead of players getting access to your entire PC, what they instead get access to is your entire Black Ops 2 account. What they can do is change and alter everything about your Black Ops 2 just by knowing your gamer tag. A great example of that is what happened to me back in the day. Like, I signed in one day, and instead of being my typical Prestige Master, I was now level 1 with nothing unlocked. I discussed that in a video back in the day, and I don't know if it was the same hacker or somebody else or whatever, but the next time I signed into Black Ops 2, I was once again Prestige Master, but this time I had everything in the game unlocked. Every gun, every camo, every calling card, and the hacker even put "I love you" in my clan tag. Why in the world would anybody play an online game like that when at will somebody can just completely delete everything that you worked towards and everything that you unlocked? It really does just go to show just how bad the older Call of Duty games are. So on the one hand, it's good that they took down Call of Duty World War II from PC Game Pass, but that is honestly just the tip of the iceberg. The sad reality, now that we have all of that out of the way, is classic Call of Duty did not just die. Activision actively murdered it. They intentionally let these games become overran by mods, infections, and hacks because they simply did not care. Their standard operating procedure has not changed in all this time. At the end of the day, all they care about is getting you on the new game. It's really that simple. The plan is to release a new game, get people to buy it, and then get them to buy the extra stuff, be it map packs or season passes, battle passes, shop bundles, or what have you, and then release another game where all that stuff is now irrelevant and players have to do it all over again. It's like an infinite money-making glitch, right? We've seen that all a ton in recent years, but the same thing happened back in the day as well. As soon as Modern Warfare 2 came out, Call of Duty 4 and World at War were suddenly just full of hackers. When Black Ops 1 dropped, suddenly Modern Warfare 2 was full of hackers, and so on and so forth until it got to the point where the golden era Call of Duty titles were shells of their former selves. You OG players know exactly what I'm talking about, so what they've been doing recently is honestly nothing new. This was all a very deliberate move by Activision, except for now, they find themselves in a bit of trouble because Big Daddy Microsoft bought them out, and Microsoft wants to use those golden era games as bargaining chips for Game Pass, except now they're just finding out that they can't because Activision killed each and every one of those old games. It's actually freaking mind-blowing. So what's going to happen from here, right? Like, I honestly don't know. In a perfect world, I think that Microsoft corrects Activision's mistakes, they go back and they fix all of the old Call of Duty games, they get them back to how they should be, and then they put all those games on Game Pass with all the map packs given out for free and make those map packs a required download so everybody has them installed, therefore there's no fragmentation of the player base. To me, that would be perfect, and it really does make a ton of sense, but if there's one thing I've learned in the 14 years I've been making Call of Duty videos, it's that nothing, and I mean nothing, ever makes sense when it comes to this franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video here today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Be sure to sub to the channel if you guys are new around here, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.